Hi, my name is Alyssa, and this is another Animal Crossing video. I promise I have some other non-Animal Crossing stuff I'm working on. Just this week I wanted to talk about the newest, latest, and greatest update to Animal Crossing and discuss whether it is in fact the greatest update so far, and talk about Pascal and all the fun I've been having diving in this game so far. So I've talked about in other videos, and I want to link to a much better video in the description below. There's this awesome video by, I think it's like the Salty something, I don't know, but it came up in my recommended. It talks about this idea that Animal Crossing is a $60 early access game, and it echoes my concerns that I had that I shared in my older video about my one big problem with New Horizons is the update-based model. How I'm concerned that we're still, even with this update, which again, I will say is the best update to date, we're still adding in features that came with New Leaf from the start. We're still at that point. We still haven't added anything really groundbreaking that's new to New Horizons yet, and I hope we do in the second wave summer update that's coming in August, but I'll link to his video in the description. It articulates my concerns with the update-based model and how barren some aspects of the game are, much better than I could in this 20-minute video. I was going to make this a real-time paint video, but I thought maybe an hour was a little too long to talk about this kind of subject, and I just wanted to talk about my feelings about this diving update to the game. First of all, I love the diving update. I didn't think I would actually like it because I never really liked diving in New Leaf. Something about swimming with the DS controls just didn't feel very satisfying. The water didn't look as pretty as it does in this game. It didn't feel as good to go swimming in that game, and I kind of dreaded it and I didn't enjoy it in New Leaf very much. So when people were all hyped about diving in this game, I was kind of like, oh, whatever. You know, I was excited about Pascal, but I was like, whatever, diving's not that great. And then I actually got to diving in this game. Not only is it fun to run and do flips and jumps off of like a dock or like, you know, a ramp that you've set up to be a diving spot, which I've done on my island. Just a little ramp at the edge of the little outlet, and you run and hit A at the right point and you jump into the water. That's delightful to do every time. It hasn't gotten old yet. And all the critters are super fun to catch. Swimming feels more natural in this game. Something about using the Pro controller with the nicer graphics. It's a more soothing experience. And it's also, I feel, the best activity currently in New Horizons. Like if you think about shoveling up fossils, fishing, catching bugs, that kind of thing. This is the best thing to do because you don't have a breakable item. You can just keep diving until you fill your inventory and just keep swapping out stuff for better stuff. If you want to just keep diving all day, you can do that, and you can't really do that with any other activity in the game. Even shooting down balloons, your slingshot breaks. So this is far and away the best activity currently in the game, like collecting activity to do in this game. And also just, it's very peaceful. Like you just put on some music or a podcast and just like mindlessly swim around and dive for stuff. It's really relaxing. Even catching the like fast stuff like the Gigas clam and all that stuff isn't really stressful to do. I've really enjoyed diving a lot more in this game than I did in New Leaf, so that's been a nice addition to the game. Again, it should have been there from the start, but it's an excellent addition to the game, and it helps beef up the aquarium, which is great. And I really love Pascal. I'll talk about more about him in a second as I'm drawing him on screen here. I haven't encountered Gulliver yet, Pirate Gulliver. I know his mechanic is the same as regular Gulliver, except he gives you pirate items. I think that's fun. I think that's a fun way to work the pirate set back into the game and give Pascal the mermaid set. I think that was a good change up from previous games. And it's nice to see those old furniture sets coming back. I still want to see, you know, the green furniture set, the modern furniture set. All of those furniture sets we need to see come back to the game, but I'll take the mermaid set. It's a beloved furniture set. It fits the island setting. It can mix and match with a bunch of different outdoor and indoor decoration ideas, so I'm excited to see it back. And Pascal, here's my argument for why he is the best NPC in this game. Far and away, he's the best one. Not only is he the best species of animal, which is an otter. I mean, does anybody disagree with me here? Everybody who knows me in real life or even vaguely knows me online knows that my favorite animal is an otter. And so every time anybody sees any otter video about anything, they'll tag me in it on Facebook or whatever. Just the thought of you when I saw this, I love otters. Everybody who knows me knows this. So if you didn't know, now you know. He's the best species of animal, and he's also the cutest otter. Like, Lyle and whatever the girl's name was, his sister, the Happy Home Academy otters from the previous games, they're pretty cute. But Pascal is way cuter. I love the simple little dot eyes. I love his like laid back, like Harvey chill dude personality type. His little beanie cap is cute. And he gets to swim on his back and eat a little scallop and crack it. And it's one of the cuter character animations in the game. He's unique in that he can swim when the other characters can't, so that makes him stand out a little bit more from the other characters in the game, which is interesting. It's always nice to have a variety in NPCs instead of hearing the same dialogue from your same 10 villagers all the time. And I think giving him the mermaid set makes him a very valuable encounter. Like, I don't think anybody's ever going to be disappointed to encounter Pascal. He's so unintrusive, he doesn't get in the way of anything. He doesn't seem to interfere with any of the other NPCs that visit. Like, you know, if you get Leaf one day, you can't have Kix, or you know, whatever. They interfere with each other. They can only visit on certain days, and like Gulliver and Sahara can visit the same day, but not, I don't know, Gulliver and, I don't know, Celeste or something. I forget which ones can and can't come on the same day. But you get my point, is that some of them interfere, and you might get Leaf, and you don't want to see Leaf because you already have a lifetime supply of every kind of shrub in the game, so you don't really want to see Leaf anymore, and you don't care about selling him weeds. So he takes up that valuable rotation slot every 2 weeks for somebody else that you would rather see, like Kix or whoever, come to your plaza, or Red, or somebody really valuable. So he doesn't take up a valuable slot, he just kind of shows up. I don't think he shows up every day, but he melds with the diving thing really well, because diving, I find, in this game is very peaceful, relaxing, enjoyable, and he just kind of pops up and says, hey, mind if you give me that scallop? And you don't even have to give it to him. Like, if you, for whatever reason, want to collect scallops, I don't know, it's your game if you want to collect scallops, but you don't even have to participate. He doesn't force you to even participate, which is great. You can opt into participating with his little activity. And you just give him the scallop, and he gives you either a super rare coveted DIY or clothing item, or he gives you a super rare material to make said DIYs. Like, his prizes are always good. Even if you're a player that doesn't like the mermaid stuff is highly sought after, so you can easily trade it for something else that you want. Like, I don't think there's a single thing that he gives out that's not valuable either to the player or to the player to trade to another player. Like, I don't want to wear the mermaid dress, but I sure as heck am going to trade it to someone who does, or gift it to someone. Like, it makes a really nice high value gift to give someone for like their birthday. So he gives out the best prizes. He doesn't force you to interact with him. He's the cutest NPC in the game, and he doesn't interfere with any of the other NPCs in the game. So that's my case for why Pascal is far and away the best NPC in New Horizons, and I don't even think that's a contest. I mean, my second favorite would be Red, because I love that he pulls up in a pirate ship. It looks super cool on your map when he pulls up. When he pulls up, I love my little smuggler's cove I've set aside for him on the private beach. Love when his ship is docked. I wish he would come more often, but that just makes him more valuable when he does show up. And even when he's selling all fakes, I love the fake paintings and the fake statues, so can't really hate him. I think he's a great NPC too. But he can't compare to Pascal, because sometimes maybe you've already got all the fake paintings and sculptures you want. You don't need any more, and he shows up and it's just a waste of an NPC slot. Or you're somebody that doesn't care about the art or museums at all. But everybody I know that isn't a time traveler only has like 2 or 3 legitimate pieces of art in their museum, so I'd be happy to see Red more frequently. I just don't think he can hold a candle to the joy that is Pascal. And taking a break from talking about Pascal in this update really briefly, which I will get back to, I wanted to talk about what I'm doing here. So the first part of this video I was drawing in Procreate for iPad Pro. This part of the video I am drawing in Adobe Animate, and somebody asked me to elaborate on this process a little bit because I didn't really talk about what I'm doing in the real-time speed paints as much as maybe I should have explained. This step is totally optional. This is just how I achieve really clean edges to my shapes, because I don't have a very steady hand when it comes to drawing these kinds of shapes in Procreate. So this is just something I like to do because this is a program I work with to make vector art rather than Illustrator, because I just find it easier to use. So what I'm doing, see these hot pink lines that I'm outlining everything with? that's a stroke. And you can kind of see in the bottom right, there's like yellow and purple, 2 colors, and one's like a hollow square and one's a square. The hollow square indicates the color of the stroke, which is why it's that kind of fuchsia pink, whatever color. Now, I'm outlining everything with a stroke because a stroke is different than a fill, or like if you use the paintbrush tool in Animate, it treats it as a fill. So what I'm doing is I'm creating these outlined areas, and I'm going to fill them in with the fill color of whatever. I can change the fill color to the colors underneath and hit fill bucket and fill the shapes. And then when I highlight everything in the image, I can change the stroke color to transparent, and it effectively just gets rid of all these ugly outlines and only leaves behind the clean shapes underneath. So I had somebody ask a question about that. They weren't certain what I was doing when I was deleting all the lines and how it left behind only the shapes. So I hope that kind of makes sense, that there's 2 types of marks you can make. It's like strokes or fills, and it's kind of the same in Adobe Illustrator because that's also a vector-based program that uses strokes. I don't really use Illustrator because I never learned how to use it properly. I only use it to add when somebody asks me to do text around a circle badge or something. That's the only program I know how to do that in, is Illustrator. But other than that, I use Adobe Animate for this kind of clean vector shape kind of art. And this is, again, totally unnecessary. A lot of people would just do this step in Procreate by drawing smooth, clean shapes on a new layer, but I prefer doing this because it's just the way I like to work. So hopefully that answers that question and elaborates on how I get rid of the lines, because you can just highlight and make only the stroke color transparent and it leaves behind all the fills. So hopefully that clears that up for anybody who was wondering how I accomplished this look here. So anyways, getting back to talking about the diving update, and at the beginning I mentioned somebody else's video about how they feel that New Horizons is a $60 early access game because we still don't have access to all the things that we had access to in New Leaf. And I'm really, really, really hoping that that changes soon with the August update. I gotta say I was happy with this update, even though it's just New Leaf features added to New Horizons and only a really minor change, which is that Pascal gives out pearls in the mermaid set rather than, what did he give out before, the pirate set? And now Pirate Gulliver has the pirate set. Pretty minor changes to how things functioned in New Leaf. But I am hoping that the rumors are true, that the data mine rumors are true, and that maybe we will see in the next update some kind of cooking mechanic. I was really hoping that this summer update would include some kind of farming, like you can have a little farm of little watermelons and you can gift them to your villager friends, or, you know, something like that. I was really hoping for that, but I guess maybe they'll set that up for fall, because then it can be like the fall harvest season and you can plant corn or whatever. I'm still holding out hope that they'll have farming come out in the summer rather than the fall, but who knows. I'm hoping for an addition to this game that's a new type of gameplay that isn't something that we've seen before. And I think cooking and farming are total no-brainers that fit perfectly with the type of vibe of this game. They fit with the kinds of items we already have. You can gift villagers recipes, you can craft recipes using ingredients, like total no-brainer to have those kinds of gameplay elements in the game. So I'm really shocked that I haven't heard more about that except from like alleged data mine leaks. So I am also super duper hopeful that the rumors are true, that Luna and the Dream Suite will be coming in the August update. I really, really hope this is the case, because people, first of all, people are thrilled by the idea that maybe we will have the ability to transfer save data from one console to another. So anybody who has been playing on a Switch Lite that maybe they were gifted or they want to buy a Nintendo Switch, I don't know where you're buying a real Switch from at this point in time. I don't know if they're still all eBay resellers or what, but regardless, somebody who for whatever reason wants to transfer their data from one console to another, currently they cannot, which is a huge hindrance for a lot of people, and it sucks if you have a Switch you want to transfer to and you don't want to keep playing on your Lite. But it looks like people were implying that you would be able to do that in a future update. Hopefully this big August one, the second wave, you'll be able to do that. And the Dream Suite, which I talked about in a previous video, is by and far and away the best thing about New Leaf was the Dream Suite. I spent hours like just browsing Tumblr and like looking for people's dream addresses, and what this feature was for anybody who's new to Animal Crossing and didn't play New Leaf. The dream suite was, you could walk into the dream suite and Luna, this little shrew or whatever kind of animal she is, she would ask you if you wanted to lay down and dream about your town, and you could essentially save a visitable snapshot of your town at that very moment. So say you're experiencing a rainy day in your town and your town looks really good in the rain and it's like nighttime and it's creepy and you want that kind of feeling. You go to the dream suite and you tell her you want to dream about your town, and you would save a version of your town that's in that, locked into that music, that atmosphere, that weather, and people could visit your island or town. Well, it wasn't an island in New Leaf. They could visit your town the way that it was at that moment when you dreamed it up, and they'd have a code to go do so. When they went to the dream suite, they could type in your address and go visit that. I think it would be amazing if we could save multiple dreams, because that was one thing that I didn't like in New Leaf, is that you could only save one dream address. I would love to have like a wintry version of my town for people to visit, like decorated for Christmas, and then like a summery version of my town for people to visit in the summer. And it would give me incentive to keep decorating and remodeling or whatever. You could have two radically different versions of your island for people to go visit. I think that would be super cool. But even just having the one dream address like in New Leaf would be incredible, because I really want to visit other people's islands and I really want people to visit mine, but I don't want to add a bunch of people I don't know on my Switch friends list and then wait for them to be online and connect and visit. And it's always awkward when you want to leave because you've seen everything but you don't want to be rude, and you know, it's this whole set of things you have to do to visit someone that's a huge pain in the neck if you just are curious about how their island looks, right? So Dream Suite is a total no-brainer. Again, should have been in the game since the beginning. That's going to be my complaint for a lot of these updates until they actually release something new. But I would be super thrilled to see it come back. I think we really need a feature like that, especially in a game where the online is, again, so cumbersome to deal with. You have to talk to the dodos for what feels like an hour just to get to someone's island every time. It's a real drag, so I'm really, really hoping that the rumors are true and that the Dream Suite will be coming back in the next update in August. So I've been rambling about things I'd want to see, but I am really happy to see that the game is like fleshing out a little bit. It's giving people a little bit more to do. I've seen a lot of posts from people who had previously not been playing the game for like the last month. They didn't really care. They finally picked the game back up, if for nothing else, to fill out their Critterpedia and catch a few diving creatures. So at least people are getting a little bit more interested with this new update, which I think is a step in the right direction, because I feel like a lot of people, myself included, were getting either burned out or just felt like the only reason we're logging on every day is to see what's new in the shop and see who's visiting the island and then log off. And that's not how we were all playing at the beginning. We were all like playing for hours and thinking of ways to design our island and thinking of ways to design our villagers' front yards, and once all that work's done, it's like, what else is there to do in the game, you know? So I really hope that we will see new gameplay added to this game finally, something that wasn't in New Leaf. I think we would all love to see. That being said, I do want to talk briefly about the actual art I've been making this whole video, now that I've been rambling about New Horizons for, 18 minutes now, says the timer. I want to talk about this piece, because I am really happy with how this particular piece came out. I wanted to try something a little bit different in terms of like, so far my whole series has been like them standing on this empty background, like either a gradient or a solid color. But I felt like Pascal, because you only really encounter him in the water in New Horizons, I really wanted him to be in the water, and I didn't want to have him on his back because I really wanted to have that nice face forward, like looking at you kind of view. So I thought this angle would be fun, and I thought, what better way to illustrate him like hanging out in the water looking at you than have half the canvas be underwater with his head bobbing at the surface. So overall I think it looks pretty cool. If I could do it again, maybe I'd add a few more sparkles to the surface and like change how the water wraps around the bottom of his head, but I think it gets the idea across well enough that people kind of understand what's going on when they look at it. I like the colors overall. I really like the underwater shadow colors, the like purpley blue colors of everything that's beneath the surface. And he's one of my favorite ones in the series so far, which I think is appropriate because, as I'll state again, he is the best NPC in Animal Crossing. Not just New Horizons, I'll say the best NPC in any of the Animal Crossing games. I'm going to put that challenge out there to all of you. Name an NPC that's better than Pascal. I challenge you to do it. I don't know who's better than Pascal. Maybe Rover just for nostalgia purposes, because he was like the first person you met going into the first Animal Crossing, if you've been playing as long as I have been playing. But other than those two, I can't think of any as iconic. Well, I have a few minutes left. I want to say I haven't found a giant isopod yet. I have found a horseshoe crab, which is very exciting, but what have you guys found? Have you caught all the critters yet that you can in your current season, or are you still on the hunt for a few more? I know my boyfriend was super excited about the horseshoe crabs, because I'll put a link to that in the description, but he put a post up on Reddit where he did an edit of a tide system he would love to see in New Horizons, where the tide could go low and like stuff would wash up on the beach. And one of the things he wanted to see wash up on the beach was a horseshoe crab. So now that we have horseshoe crabs, and not only do we have horseshoe crabs, but you can place them like the turtles, and you can click A to like flip them, and they just sit instead of sitting in a tank. It's like the perfect addition to the game. He was super thrilled about that. So my boyfriend, who's not like an avid Animal Crossing, like this is his first Animal Crossing game, he was super stoked about that. So you know what, mission accomplished for a good update. If all that was added was just the horseshoe crab, I think he would have been thrilled. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think about the diving update. Let me know what you guys think about Pascal, either the artwork or the NPC himself. And let me know what you guys are looking forward to in future updates from New Horizons. I already know what I'm looking forward to. You just heard me talk about it for 20 minutes now. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.